Buenos dias and welcome back to Valencia. As you can see, I've come down to the beach actually, but I'm not sure that I've chosen completely the right day. It's a bit hazy and a bit cloudy today. I've been very lucky with the weather, but I mean I'm right down on it's a Mediterranean Sea obviously, and I'm going to paddle. You know what it's like, Brits abroad. I've got my trousers rolled up and I'm going to see what the water's like, although it might be the Mediterranean. It's a little bit freezing, but but anyway, so I'm going to have a wander along the beach. I used to do videos like this quite a lot, you know, walking along the beach and talking. So what have I been up to? What did I do? I can't remember where I left you yesterday. I was wandering around, where was I? Oh yeah, the science park, wasn't it? God, it seems such a long time ago. And what I've done today, because yesterday, I said a couple of days ago I walked 20,000 steps, and yesterday I walked 18,500 steps. So today I've hired a bike and I've come down here. But I went out yesterday evening, had a wander around, and wouldn't you know it, I finished my dinner, having a wander around, just when I got some money out, turned round, looked at one of these statues that they're building. I might mention that again in a minute, and blow me down, as they say, I bump into someone from Hastings. Good to see you, Malcolm, and I think it was Sam as well, your friend. They're over here for the Falas Festival. Malcolm's a big one with the Hastings Bonfire Society, makes fireworks and he's really into all that sort of stuff. So it's good to bump into them. It's quite, you know, it's amazing. And this is right in the middle. This is in sort of one of the back streets type of thing in the area that I'm staying in. So it's quite interesting really doing that. You know, it doesn't matter where you go, you can always bump into somebody that you know, which is quite nice, isn't it? So today, as I said, I hired a bike. I've done a lot of walking, and I mean as I mentioned before, it's great to sort of walk around the city if you can find a city that's walkable, and I've been lucky enough to go around several. I mean, it's how I learned London really, is just by wandering around and getting lost. And I've done the same thing in many Spanish cities and places like New York and that. I do remember doing it in Cairo and getting lost, but that's Cairo for you. So, but I wouldn't recommend trying to walk around there on your own or with somebody else. They think you know where you're going, and no, you don't know where you're going at all. But and it's the same with the bike as well. So I hired the bike today, and I've come down to this area because you forget actually that Valencia is on the sea. You're in the middle of in the town with all the fireworks and all the other stuff going on, but the beach is, I think it's about 3 kilometres distance. So, and I come down through the Jardin de Turia once again, down through the park. Great, just ride around on the bike, come down to here, and you can ride around on the promenade up here as well. And one thing, the way they do things, I mean, there's bike lanes absolutely everywhere, and these aren't, you know, sort of tacked onto the roads as they are at home. You know, I mean, you've got this tiny little space where the bikes go. These are proper bike lanes, and so it's all set up specifically for bikes and for people running and just exercising. And that's not just like the main Jardin de Turia, as I mentioned before. It's right the way along. So there's something to be said for that, I think, and obviously the climate and everything helps out here, because although I'd say it's not that sunny today, it's not cold at all. It's still about 19 degrees or something like that, so it's hardly unpleasant. So, and this water actually, it's all right now. I've got used to it, and it is nice to be able to come out and sort of wander along a beach and put your feet in the Mediterranean. So I've gone down this particular area because I've forgotten that Valencia actually held the America's Cup sailing. Not one of those things that I tend to get into, but it's a huge sport. And that down here by the docks area is where they held it. And there's a big marina. There's still some pretty amazing catamarans and that sort of stuff. There's obviously some money around here somewhere. But that area's down here, you can still see sort of remnants of where all the America's Cup took place. And so there's all these things going on around this particular area. And then come down onto the beach, wander along here. There's a nice little area just inland here called El Campagnol, which reminded me a little bit of Triana in Seville actually, because it's an old fisherman's quarter, and it's still a little bit, let's say derelict, but it's one of those places obviously up and coming and rather hip, because there's lots of building work going on. There's some amazing buildings that remind me of, once again, of Triana, but also of pictures that I've seen of Havana in Cuba. Not that I've been there, another place I'd like to go to. So but you can see that it's one of those places, it hasn't quite been gentrified yet, but it's still got a nice little edge to it. And the Falas things, as I was saying about the statues, they are everywhere, and they are here as well. And Malcolm was telling me last night, because I wasn't sure, I might even try and put a couple of photos in the comments to this video if I get around to it, showing you some of the ones that I've taken photos of. Because all the little areas, and even some around here, even the little streets that they've got, have their own phallus statues, and they are amazing creations. Some of them look a bit Disney-esque, but some of them are a bit more edgy. As Malcolm said last night, some of them are sort of downright slightly pornographic. Well, not the ones that you tend to see in the main streets. These are the ones that are out the way, and some of them around here are amazing. And apparently they made of polystyrene, and they burn them. I presume that they process them around the town, and you know, at the end of the festival. But no, they all stay in situ in the little areas that they are, and they had their own little firework display. So come the day, I've forgotten which day it is, when the main festival happens or ends, there's something like 100 different firework displays going on in the city. Amazing. I do wonder though what it would be like to come here when maybe there isn't a festival going on. So you see a different side of it. Obviously I've seen a really good side of it this time with the fireworks, and I'm missing the mascletta today to come down to the beach. So you do wonder what it might be. So maybe it's one of those places that I'd like to come back to. And there aren't many places I can think of that I wouldn't want to go back to, but I certainly would come back, and I would certainly recommend it to anybody. So whether I make another video, I have no idea as yet, but I'll leave you with the beaches. I mean, this beach goes on for miles actually, all the way up the coast, and up that end there's some sort of high-rise building sort of far in the distance. I don't know where that is, but not the sort of place that I'd like. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Adios.